Hey folks, Gecko Guy here. So it's been a long time since I've done any sort of video, anything in general. So I started this YouTube channel when I was like 15, 16 years old, and I'm 31 now. So it's been quite a long time. I kind of left to start my professional career as a truck driver. It'll be 9 years in March I've been driving. Started off very shaky in the beginning, but now currently where I'm at, a little over 2 years, we're doing okay. Hope everybody's doing well. I used to do a lot of just random stuff on this YouTube channel. Started off with animals, and then started doing some RC stuff, and then cartoon videos. But now I'm like into 3D printing. I'm into a lot of different things. I can't just limit myself to one, unfortunately. But I'm here to kind of share my tips and tricks and try to help get you guys motivated to start your own 3D printing career. I'm shooting this hopefully in one shot from the semi truck here, and just did my drop and hook. I'm just taking my lunch break here. It is currently 20 below, and the whole rest of the week is supposed to be, it's still into the negatives. So stay warm, stay bundled up. I hope everybody's doing good. So who, what, when, where, why, and how. You got to have a business plan. Who are you going to sell to? So you guys want to start your own 3D printing business, I fully support that. I believe extra little side cash is always great. Everybody should definitely have a side job, side business. Don't quit your day job until it exceeds what you're currently making at your current job, and then some. So as for what you should sell, I don't know. I mean, you can't just watch a YouTube video and expect to just magically make the sales and be making hundreds of thousands of millions of dollars just by watching a YouTube video and printing 3 little Flexi Dragons. So what should you sell? What should you make? I don't really know. As for me, do what you're interested in. Sell things that you're interested in. Do you want to print? Do you want to make designs? Do you want to do STLs? Do you want to have contract work and then design stuff for other people or businesses? Now, as for me, I have a rental property that I rent out both sides to, so it's a side by side. So I spend a couple hours a week on that. I am gone 5 days a week here at my trucking job, and that is 70 hours a week. So I get 2 to 3 days off. I'm a 5 days out, 2 days home, 5 days out, 3 days home. So it rotates every week. So I don't get the amount of home time that you guys might think I do. So I have to create like my own little plan there. But I can tell you that I have sold a couple of resin prints. I do have a Elegoo Mars 4 that I during the summer I did sell a couple things. It wasn't a whole lot of money, a couple of bucks here and there, but the fact that like I made something and I packaged it up and then shipped it off meant a lot to me, whether I made $30 off of it or 30 cents off of it. So as for what I make, I kind of keep that private. I'm not really one to gatekeep, but like you gotta kind of decide what you're interested in. Now if you watch, Nico Industries, I can't remember his YouTube channel, but he used to do like podcasts and stuff like that, where he would interview people. Maybe I should start doing that. He would interview people that would make things and sell things on Etsy. And it was really interesting, week after week. Like one person did cookie cutters, one person did airsoft stuff or paintball. So if you can make something that solves a problem, Samcraft also kind of touched base on that. And then there's Slant 3D. He kind of goes into depth on this topic as well. But you got to come up with solutions to problems. Shop Nation, he does 3D prints for dust collection and stuff like that. So pick something that solves a problem, or maybe there's a gadget, or I saw a video where some guy, he made a couple $1,000s by 3D printing a part for a cat litter automatic scooper thing. Like it's a known problem where it just breaks, and so he 3D printed it and gave 3D, like he gave instructions on how to repair it. So you got to come up with those things, but also you got to also take in mind whatever you release and put out on the internet, people are likely to copy it or make some sort of derivative on it. That is a huge issue also. Like if you have a, let's take for example a water bottle, like you design a water bottle and somebody else also designs a water bottle, but it is slightly different or a different variation of yours. Is that plagiarism? Is that morally or ethically wrong? Also, if you subscribe to a Patreon, they give you rights and a licensing, kind of like a handshake agreement. I don't know if you are legally bound to a lot of these Patreons, but if you download them and then cancel your Patreon and then you're still uploading that person's designs, is that wrong? Is it illegal? I don't really know. It is an incredibly gray area when it comes to 3D modeling, 3D design. And there's not a lot of clarity. There's not a lot of like legislation put in place. If you change it up enough or change it up to a certain extent, is it no longer plagiarism? Is it freedom of speech? I don't really know. It is a really gray area, but basically if you don't come up with your own designs, don't try to sell it. Or if you start selling something and then all of a sudden it went from saying you are allowed to do it and you can remix it, you can make money off of it, they do license it out, and then maybe 2 weeks later they change it and say you can't do that anymore. Or you take someone's design and they originally said, yeah, you can upload this, you can do whatever, and then they see that you're making tens of thousands of dollars off of it, and then they get all salty and say, well, I want that money, or you can't do that anymore. They're well within their right to do that. So also try to make deals, try to work things out. Technical Tinkers, he does some of the business stuff too. He makes some really big prints. Also, Me is 3D. He does a lot of big prints. So kind of find your niche, your target audience. So I used to do RC cars and stuff like that. So make parts that replace something that are known to break. I don't really know how strong the parts are for RC cars for 3D printing. I know a lot of people do make 3D prints, like Johnny Q90. He makes some really cool stuff. Make It RC. Yeah, there's really cool stuff you can make. And should try to make your own designs and sell it. Who, what, when should you do this? You should probably get on the ball, start it now. Like start doing your 3D printing business now. Because if you keep telling yourself, I'm going to start, you're never going to. As for what printer you should have, that's also kind of suggestive because Bambu Lab, I have a Bambu Lab A1. Bambu Lab did a complete 180, and now they're kind of like doing something to the users where it might just brick you or lock you into their ecosystem where you can't have any third-party stuff, like no third-party touchscreens, no third-party filaments and stuff like that. So I would still recommend Bambu Lab just to start with, just see how you like it, because they work and they work well. They're quick, they're fast. The prints come out, in my opinion, very good. I used to have an ANET A8. Never got anything to print off of that thing. I had a Creality Ender 3 years and years ago. you wind up tinkering on that thing more than you print on it. So with the Bambu Lab, you just press print and it prints. It does it very, very nicely, cleanly. The prints don't take nearly as long as they used to. Way back when, if you did anything faster than like 50 millimeters a second on an Ender 3, it would just implode on itself. So now we have very super fast printing. We have a lot of other companies are doing their own multi-material stuff, so that's good too. Check out FlashForge, check out Prusa. Prusas are tried and true. FlashForge, they seem pretty good. Also, I'm not, even though I have 22,000 subscribers, I am not monetized. Something years ago, like, you had to get like a partner network. I was with Viso Network. I can't remember what they're called now. But I no longer am monetized, and then the piece of shit network copyright claimed every single one of my videos. And it's like, I created that, I did all the video editing, so it's like, you don't own my content. I don't understand that. So I'm not monetized. I kind of just do this for fun because I like sharing my ideas, tips, and tricks. And genuinely, I find YouTube as like a therapeutic thing, I guess. But back to 3D printers, I guess maybe a Creality K2. Cheaty Tech, I would be pretty weary on them. They seem pretty good. Like some of the YouTubers that I've seen, they got pretty lucky with theirs. Some other users were not. As far as Creality Ender 3s, I think we might be a little ahead of that here in 2025. But as for me, because I work 70 hours a week and I do have a rental that I have to dedicate a couple hours a week, just mostly trash removal, making sure the snow and lawn is taken care of, I might more focus on like content and, I don't know, kind of designing things. As far as design software, I would say don't sleep on Tinkercad. It solves a lot of issues. I also use Blender. I've tried to use Plasticity for the free trial. Autodesk Fusion 360. I think you can do free stuff, but if you start selling things, that's where you run into an issue. But can you really tell the difference? You just have to morally and be ethically right, and make sure you sell your design. Like, make sure you have the licensing agreement. But again, you do you. As far as shipping, USPS is kind of like the way to go. I used to haul and deliver for the United States Postal Service. I see a lot of the ins and outs of what happens at these distribution centers. So if you ever wonder why it goes from your city up north or up south, like down south, it goes to a big distribution center and then gets put in several different carts and different trailers to be taken elsewhere. So I do see a lot of this stuff, a lot of USPS ground advantage. Try to stick to having prints that are ground advantage. I noticed that they seem to come out a lot better. But if you go something like with priority over a pound, I can't remember the exact weight where it's priority. I think it's 1 pound, 1 ounce. Anything under a pound is ground advantage. But I noticed that if you have bigger boxes and priority, they tend to get smashed and dinged up a little bit more than ground advantage. And don't overthink it for shipping. Even though you're a small business, you don't need to put a whole lot of effort into wrapping it, especially if it's in a small box. Like, I use a lot of bubble mailers, so 000s and zeros. So 6x4 bubble mailers. A lot of times you can just slide the item right in there just like that and slap your label on it. It's good to go. Your bubble mailer, maybe a little bit of tissue wrap, and then slide it in there. It's good to go. I use 4x4s, 5x5s, 6x6x6 boxes, 7x4s, and generally 9 times out of 10 they're fine. Out of 100+ orders, because I also do eBay on the side, 100+ orders, I've only had like one thing damaged, and it wasn't all 3D prints. I do a lot of other eBay stuff, but Ground Advantage, it generally is safer in my opinion. As far as where, I mean, try to do it in your apartment, garage, if it's warm enough. Basement, I print in the basement, but I'm right next to the furnace, so it stays pretty warm. Just dry your filament. Try to just get started. That's kind of the gist of it. Why should you 3D print? Because you guys are like me, you're broke, you need money. I don't know. I'm just kind of ranting and rambling. Let's see. I also work 14 hours a day, so my mind's kind of going. But I'm trying to get you guys motivated to start your own 3D printing business in 2025. I haven't uploaded in many years, so I'm a little nervous even trying to talk to you guys. And as far as how you should start your 3D business or 3D printing business, just get started, make some designs, connect, branch out with people. I will say Uline is not the cheapest or the best place to get your shipping supplies from. I personally just shop on eBay. Get your bubble mailers, get your boxes from there. And you don't really need to focus on LLCs or sole proprietorships, filing for a business. You don't need to worry about that right away. That'll come later. But I don't know. In the comments below, tell me what you print. Tell me what you're interested in. Maybe we can get some podcasts going, or where I interview some people and see how your business does. But anyway, just start. I hope everybody has a good 2025. It is super frigid cold, and it's 3.5 hours to my next destination. Hope everybody is feeling good in 2025. Rubber side down. Spay and neuter your pets. Have a good day, guys. See you later.